conectada justo contigo. Ya, sí, un besito. Gracias. Chao,
Ya.
chao.
¿Estás grabando ya? Sí, ya. This this is too
Hi,
true.
how are you?
How are you? Nice to see you. Even in digital, it's amazing.
Oh, it is so good to see you.
Oh,
I'm so grateful to you.
no, 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 no. I'm grateful for you to you because you, I don't know, you made us feel that so many emotions at the Quinta Vergara. You kind of realize that, is it?
I mean, I was just so overwhelmed with joy, with love. Like I came into this, I expressed to you feeling kind of like I had a lot of questions about where my journey was going to go next with my music career. And I, of course, like I love performing with Andrea so much, and he inspires me all the time. And so it's such a joy to be on stage with him and perform. And but I was oddly very calm before I went on stage. It was like, I don't know, it was like a divine kind of feeling. And
Is it? Okay, so
yeah,
let's start from the very beginning. When they
yeah.
said, okay, first of all, how you came to sing with Andrea Bocelli? How was that? How he discovered you?
So I perform a lot with David Foster.
Love David Foster.
Yes, yes, David Foster. He's a mentor to me, and I've been very fortunate to tour with him around the world. And he introduced me to the Bocelli family.
Okay.
And I sang for Andrea and his wife, and kind of that's how it came about. And I did a like one or two tour dates with them, and then it just kept evolving
Oh,
into
really?
more.
But you go through some kind of a casting, like in a theater. That's what. Imagine he's there with Veronica, with some kind of a jury, like we saw you at the American Idol.
No.
Ah,
It's not
okay.
like that. Luckily, I think David suggested a few girls to him, and I also met the family for it's an event for the Andrea Bocelli Foundation called Celebrity Fight Night, and
Okay.
so I went out to Italy with David. I performed with David, and Veronica, I think, got familiar with me through that, and and then I think it happened where I was replacing Catherine McPhee for just two shows.
Okay.
And it was only supposed to be two shows, and then it just evolved into something more and more. And yeah, it was just such a special moment in my life because I grew up listening to Andrea.
Well, I believe so. And when I met Andrea Mateo, I felt that he's a very kind of a calm guy, very polite, very calm. I kind of I've interviewed so many people that I kind of tell that they're not calm at all, and he's very
Yeah.
relaxed. But tell me about your work with Andrea. Once you go on stage, had you such a um, um, talent like him? It is for you a challenge, I believe. How do you communicate? I see from the audience that he tells you some things like, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it is. And I'd
Yeah.
like to know.
Yeah. Actually, so usually I sing with in-ear monitors when, especially when I'm singing solo, when I'm like, you know how I walk towards the front of the stage,
Yes,
that long
yes,
kind of runway thing.
yeah.
So I have both of my in-ears in because there's no stage monitors for me to be able to hear what I'm doing. So when I go with Andrea, I have one in-ear that's out, or sometimes I don't sing with in-ears at all because we have the
Oh,
floor
I'm
wedges.
getting
And so
overstressed. Keep
I
going.
know. And so I always have my left ear available to him.
Okay.
And so sometimes it was funny on this tour, we were singing Canto della Terra. And I think I was saying Zembra instead of Sembra. And
Yes.
he kept going right before I sang. He went, Sembra, Sembra. I'm constantly learning, and I have to be very in tune with him. So I have to be listening and I have to be watching him because, there's a blend that has to happen. And a sense of security.
Yeah.
And
And I believe that, well, he's correcting you with that with Italian. It's something. Come on, you
oh
and we're gonna review when you sang "Vivo per Lei" with Andrea Bocelli, and you sang in a perfect Italian. And tell
yeah.
me
Okay.
about that.
Thank you. I have a good teacher, that's for sure. You know, my roots are I'm Italian American. My father was born in Naples. I've been around the Italian language for since I was a baby. I just don't speak very well at all.
But you pronounce it very well.
Thank you. But I do love singing in Italian and Spanish, and so for me, it's really fun to learn new languages, especially to sing in these beautiful, gorgeous, romantic languages. So,
And that
yeah.
and that moment you gave us, as I was at the audience, you gave us that moment with Vivo per Lei, which is a song that really touched our hearts in a moment here in Chile. So we enjoyed it that much. But I want to tell you about this. I want to ask you about this. You came, you were oddly calm before going
Yeah.
on stage. Why that? What had you heard about the festival? How many people were at the audience? Did you Google it up? How come?
I was told actually that I was told that it was televised, but I didn't realize how far it would reach, and I try not to get too in my head with those kind of things, but I do come from a bit of a TV background with American Idol. So
What kind of background? Amazing. Keep going, please.
I really love doing stuff that is televised and you're playing to a camera and all that. So um yeah, so that I did hear also too that the Chilean audience is either gonna like not me in particular, but like they either love you or if they don't like you, they let you know.
Yeah, and we have a monster. We call it the
That's
monster,
a
that
monster.
audience. Yeah, yeah.
That's what one of the guys on our crew had told me, and I was like, oh God, oh God. And I was like, let me not get in my head though. I'm supposed to be here. All this is happening for a reason. But then he also had said to me, sometimes if they want you to sing more, you have to be prepared to sing more. So I did start to get a little nervous. And then I was like, you know what? Listen, I'm meant to be here. This is God's plan for me, and whatever's supposed to happen, happens. So I just, I took it in a more like, this is a joyful opportunity, and whatever is meant to be will be, and just really enjoy it and live in the moment and be present. And I felt like I stayed present the whole time.
When you came on stage, we didn't really know who you were.
Yeah.
So you came on with this amazing pink dress and the furs and all that. And you shocked us with your voice. Did you tell it right away that we kind of were observing you and you got our attention?
I actually can't really tell because when I have the in-ear monitors in, it kind of cuts me off from, I can't really hear the crowd reaction. So, and really, I just try to, if I focus too much on what the crowd is doing and say maybe if we have a more timid audience that's not clapping as much and they're, observing more, I have to be, I have to just like really just stay focused and tell the story of the song and not worry so much about what the audience is doing, because then it could trip you up and make you feel like you're not doing enough. And watching Andrea before I went on and seeing the crowd react to him and how much they adored him, it was just so beautiful to be a part of.
And let's talk about this song, All by Myself. Tell me about how you performed this beautiful song on stage.
So All by Myself has become kind of a signature song for me because of David Foster.
Okay.
And in David's shows, I do mostly his Celine Dion music that he's produced. So All by Myself was produced by David Foster. It was reimagined. Actually, unfortunately, Eric Carmen, the writer, in his shows, he tells that story, and I'm the one that comes out and sings that one and Power of Love. And so it just became such like a staple for us, and we
Staple.
performed it so much that it's a song that I mean I also performed it on American Idol as well. It's a song that I've adored since I was a little kid,
Yes.
and it was kind of like my goal as a child. I wasn't like a prodigy, like a great vocalist when I was little. I would constantly perform all by myself for my dad as a kid, and I couldn't always hit that note. And
Oh,
he'd be like, keep trying, you're almost there. And then I finally performed it on American Idol, and it got like a really, warm response. So it's something that I kept in my repertoire.
oh, that's a
That's
beauty.
why.
And the result was amazing. It was beautiful. Were you thinking about your dad on stage afterwards?
Well, I was thinking, gosh, I wish I could have taken my dad with me to this because he would have loved it. He travels with me a lot to events like this, but unfortunately, I couldn't take him with me. But I was just saying, he got to see like the after. My parents are always with me when I perform emotionally, like in my heart, because they are the reason why I'm able to do what I love to do.
I saw some YouTubers in Spain saying amazing, beautiful things to you and your voice and your talent. And it was some kind of a shock of energy in your career.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to be quite honest, my Instagram following went up by I think like 150,000.
Wow.
But Caroline, our beautiful violinist, had mentioned that a lot of people were posting in her stories and adding her. And I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And she's like, "This probably happens to you a lot like when we're traveling in the States." And I'm like, I checked mine and then it was going nuts and I was like, "Oh my God, this never happened." We're not televised when we're doing our tour, so we get the people in the arena that's watching us in real time. But since this was televised and broadcast and so many people were watching, everybody was, adding us and showing us so much love. So it did catch me off guard. I didn't expect things to happen that quickly, like, you know, just such positive, comments and feedback.
We never know how important could be for a career of a talent.
I mean, it just kind of gives you a whole new perspective on things. It lights a fire in your soul, especially as an artist creatively. I had so many questions and I love to perform live and I will never stop doing that. But it's like, okay, do I write more music? Do I release more music? What's going to be the next step? What genre do I want to continue doing, or start doing, and so for me, this was really inspiring.
Is it really true that you're coming back to Chile?
It is true, and we are working on that right now. I think it's going to be sometime in July.
Oh, no, it's coming up.
That's what we're working towards. Of course, all the stars have to align, but we're working really hard to make that happen, to put together a beautiful show, and to come back to Chile and perform for the incredible people.
Is it possible to listen just to a little tiny part of All by Myself?
When I was young, I never needed anyone, and making love was just for fun. Those days are gone.
I need you to tell me,
Yeah.
just in one word,
Mhm.
what's your impression? What's your feeling about the Festival of Viña?
Gosh, just electrifying.